All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second episode from Zone Zero. Today, we've got a guy who is literally turning up the heat. We have we've got Jerry here. He owns a local HVAC company. It's a business company, and today we're gonna go through how to do a business and what is the struggles and what is the challenges you've got on. And thank you for coming here.
Thank you for inviting me, Ali. Thank you for having me
Absolutely.
here.
So now, tell us, who is Jerry in your own words?
In my own words, well, I'm 23 years old. I'm a normal guy. I like to go out. I like to drink. I like to hang out. But I have the business, so I'm kind of driven on that sense.
Mhm.
Apart from that, I like any other guy.
Like kind of normal guy is kind of far away because you currently have a business, you cooperating with your family, and how many guys you know is owning a business at 23?
Yeah,
There are, but majority of them are in online, right?
yeah.
So tell us about the company, how this all started. What was the Zone Zero for you?
Right. So I never imagined being in HVAC. It started because my parents, they have an HVAC company in Peru about 18 years ago. It's still open over there. We branched out to Canada in 2021. And that's how it all started. I really didn't think that I was going to be into HVAC. It just happened to be here, and I like it. You know, it's fun to what I do. So it's something that I'm doing to build my personal goals.
That's great. Did you go to school here?
I did go to school. I went to Douglas College here in New West. I just graduated in February. I studied commerce.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. That was just 2 years. It was kind of hard, like trying to balance it out with working. But it was fun as well. I studied in Peru. I didn't finish, so that's why I came here mainly to study and finish my degree here.
And what was your major going to school with?
I did engineering in Peru. That's how it became somewhat easier for me to understand the physics part and the technical part of the HVAC industry. But here I studied commerce and business in Douglas.
So pretty much the major you're studying is a part of the business currently.
Yes, it was commerce and business, the one that I finished, but I did over 3 years of engineering.
Okay. And how you can get in the engineering into the HVAC, like in what sense exactly?
Right. So my main role in the HVAC company, the main thing that what I do is sales. In Peru, we've done mostly commercial and industrial. So we deal a lot with plans and drawings and layouts. So that's what the main how it helps me mainly in terms of quoting, in terms of understanding the systems and how they work. So we can price that out.
Okay. That's great. And do you like design it, or do you have your own brand with the HVAC or with the one that you're installing, or you collaborate with manufacturers?
Yeah, so our company is purely service right now. We just install, maintain, or repair systems. We partner with manufacturers such as Mitsubishi, Daikin, and others that help us grow on here.
That's great. So the thing is, I'm also in the same industry that you are
Yes,
working on.
yes.
I'm kind of working into the cleaning part of it.
Yeah,
I see a lot of the systems that are you mentioning, and we collaborating. We have collaborate a lot
yes,
towards like customers, sharing customers with each other. So, like as you know, the HVAC industry is the most competitive companies or like industry in, let's say, Canada and Vancouver.
yes.
How you stand out?
Oh, that's a really tough question. That's something that we saw when starting here, and yes, as you said, when we met, that was our beginning mainly, right? We met when you were working at other company, and now you open yours. So
Correct.
that's great, and that's how we started collaborating.
Mhm.
At that moment, the main thing that we did to stand out is mainly customer service. I've seen a huge gap on customer service in terms of follow-ups, delivering a good project, whether it's an installation or a repair. So that's where we mainly stand out.
Great. So the thing is, I just want the people who's watching to know in regards when it comes to service industries, because as you know, like Canada is one of the most, like in North America in general and America and Canada, they are popular with service industries, correct? So is that you got into this service, this industry just because it's the most popular and you can compete in it, or just because, let's say, your father had one and you brought it here to the country?
Yes, we the exactly the reason why we came to Vancouver, Canada, was after 2021. So the main thing we did in Peru is air conditioning, right? And we saw there was a heat wave in 2021 in Vancouver where over 400 people died. So that's how when we did our research and looked for places to expand, these ones stood out because of that. And there was a huge gap in terms of service. After 2021, you've seen the market; it took off, and there's a lot of competition out there now. But that's the main thing that we did before.
That's great. That's great. I'm glad that you guys are.
Thank you.
That's you working your way up. I'm seeing a lot of developments that you're working at, and slowly you are building the company, which
Of
is I'm
course.
grateful for that and happy for you. Absolutely. And so tell us about the first year. As you know, everyone thinks that business or having a business is the easy thing,
Yes.
but we want to give the reality to the audience and the people who watch. It's not as easy as everybody thinks. So tell us the difficulties you had in the first years.
Yes, and I think this will resemble a lot with you as well, since we're in the same industry. The main thing that we lack is the having those recurring customers when people already have established companies that service them already. The main walls that we faced at the beginning was that, number one, and also all the different changes in terms of licenses and bureaucracy that you need to have a good company established here, such as permits, licensing for refrigeration or gas or etc.
Luckily, like my industry, it doesn't require all that licensing,
Yes,
right?
It's a little less, right?
Yeah, we recently had the conversation about the licensing,
Yes.
but I would like the audience to know, like, tell us about the licensing. How many licenses you actually need to open an HVAC industry?
Right. So the main thing we overall would be business licenses. We require a lot of business licenses to pull permits in every city that we work. And apart from that, we need to be certified, bonded to the safety authority here, depending on the kind of work that we do, if it's gas or if it's refrigeration. So it has we have more steps to follow, so we can be a good product for a customer to see and that wants to try it.
Great. And if we want to summarize the difficulties, especially for the first year, for three things, what would it be?
First, three things. So one of the main takeaways that I had is that this is a completely different industry and market in comparison to my home country. Right? There's no heating down there. We don't need heating down there. It's always sunny, or if it's not sunny, it's the weather is so good. But that's the main thing. So there's some other services that we didn't do at that moment. So that's a lot of learning on that sense. The second thing would be a lot of you need to be more careful with customers depending on what they look for. It's a more specialized market in terms of the equipment or the installations or the warranties that a company can provide. And of course, the best one is the one that can give more, such as financing, such as rebates from the province, and that would be the second thing. Finally, the third thing, I think it would be there's a lot of word of mouth servicing from customers. So once you do a good service for someone that really likes it and becomes loyal to you, it's easier for you to grow that way organically.
I totally agree. But like if I want to say that since we are in the same industry, like my biggest thing that I need to work on 24/7 is the marketing.
Yes,
Because I'm new in the market, nobody knows me.
of course.
Why they have to come to me, right? So where did you start in that? Like when you go and have customers calling you, taking quotes from you, what separates you from the other companies, the whales, let's say?
Right. So right now, I think so far we still have, in terms of pricing, we still have a better price compared to, as you said, the big whales in the market. But overall, the main thing that we did, especially in year one, was trying to get to know the company, provide and showcase our services and how we work to the people that choose us. The very few people that choose us will spread the word in organically, and that's the main thing that we did to start growing.
Okay. And from like I just want to a little bit focus on the first year, because my believing with businesses, especially first year and second year, is the years that you just figuring out.
Yes.
You're not really sure if you want to stick with this business or not, and see the market how it goes, and if it worked with you or not, right? So in terms of the first year, does the stress you got worth it to stay in the company?
I think so. So, and that, I think that's where we're a little different, you and I, because when we started the company, we didn't know much about how the market itself is being played out, in terms of other companies, inside the work culture, employment, etc. And I think that's something that I really, see on that you have, and how you've grown, because you were, with the company already, and knew how to start, placing strategies for you to grow. So that's something that took me a little while during year 1 and 2, to try to figure out how to grow, right?
100%. So the thing is, like, I had an advantage, like, in the market, because I was working with the company for, I think, a year or two, like seeing how things goes. Of course, I haven't gone into any management place into the company I was working with. And the main thing that I gained is how to deal with the customers, right? What the customer is looking for, or how to master this skill, right? Because, like, I'm not sure if it's the same for you or not, but in my industry, is for me 60% is customer service, and then comes to the 40% with the actual job. Is it the same thing with you?
I think it will be somewhat the same. There's a lot in terms of service that we provide. Something that comes on top of my head is, something basic as cleaning after, my guys are finished, right? If they do some drilling, if they do something, there's dust on the floor. I've seen people, or companies or contractors, that they do not include that on their service, because it's not, the main thing that they do. But it's part of the customer service and what you deliver, to a customer at the end, right? So that's, how, we kind of, differentiate ourselves.
Okay, got it. And, like, in this industry, did you do the job yourself? I know that it's a family business,
Yes.
but like for us, is I do the job myself when I started, right? Is it the same thing for you?
No, I wish, man. I wish. I never had the opportunity to do it. Again, I know the theory and the technicalities, but I've never done it myself. Probably if I start, learning a little bit, I would be able to do it. But it will take me some time for me to get licensed, right, and do that. And I think I'm better off, in terms of growing the company itself, than me being on the tools. Well, although I like it, I think it would be a very good skill to have. I'm not on the tools.
So, like, when you're saying that, is when you start the company, like, everybody when thinks about business, if I start the company, I gotta know how to do the job so I
Yes.
can hire people in the future.
Yes.
But in your case, how that work for you?
So, that's where my dad comes into play. He has about 18 years of experience doing this, and he had the company in Peru, for a lot of time. And how we started doing it since the beginning here in Canada, my dad also wasn't an installer, so we always subcontracted at the beginning. It was hard because, of course, it's more costly to hire people per the job, and we learned from there, see what things were needed, see what things are different compared to our country, so we can, mold that into our way of working with our employees and our customers.
That's great. As I think it's the double the stress that I would have in my company, because I do have the control in it. But you have to also like, rather than like managing the business, you have also to manage how to manage people.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. No, that the first year regarding that was, totally crazy. I remember our first installation. The guys that we hired, they did an okay job. It's that we knew, the kind of job they did. However, there's, as you said, not an actual quality control of the direct service that they give, right? So they were, maybe just stepping on, the corner of a couch, some things, small things that, doesn't give you a professional look, because they really don't care. It's not their company, right? I'm the face, not them. So it is a little bit hard on that end, the beginning, but we passed that stage, and I think it was a really good time at that moment to learn things about it.
I can imagine how it's going to be difficult to manage with the customer, especially if there is something wrong in their houses, because you are in their territory. So you have to act as they want, not as you want. You have
Yes.
to be like extremely professional to do that.
Of course.
Like getting into this topic, what was the worst thing you had like experience with a customer that is was like in the beginning, or something you can't ever forget?
Yes, I remember the worst experience I had was when we were just starting out and figuring out how we're going to structure our services. In an installation, we didn't establish much stuff that we have established now. So back and forth with the customer when we were already working, we lost 1 day full of job when we subcontracted people. So we still had to pay them for the day, but we didn't do anything. The customer got mad because we didn't establish well where the pipes were going to pass through, and there was a whole problem. Second day comes, started screaming at me, started screaming at my guys, so that was it took longer than
Challenging.
expected. It was so challenging. At the end, we were able to finish that project. It didn't go bad after all, but it was a lot of things that we sat down afterwards and said, okay, we need to change this. This cannot happen again. We need to resolve the things that went wrong in this project. And we really learned from a lot of failures that we had in each project. But that's how you start growing that business.
I agree. Like I had in my first days, like first customers in the industry, I had a customer. Like the plan was go there, do the job,
Yeah.
or like start the job at least, right? And I got into there, and there was a lady. She lost her cat. We saw the cat when we got in, right? And after a couple minutes, she got to us like freaking out, like, "I'm looking for my cat. I can't find it." And it's like literally drop everything and look for the cat. Like the job itself, it takes 2 hours to get everything from A to Z. Okay. But we spent in total 5 hours. The first 2 hours gone only to looking for the cat.
Yes.
And imagine where the cat would be.
Where?
In her bedroom.
Oh no.
Like
And
it's
almost an entire day lost.
yeah, it was for our first days. And I don't want, like, the last thing I want is a lady leaving us a comment on Google review.
Yes.
Saying these guys was the reason to lose my cat.
Yes.
Like imagine, right? And especially in the first customers. And we were freaking out. But trying to control it, try my face to be straight. We were thinking, what should we get her if we couldn't find the cat?
Should we buy a cat?
that was the last thing. But my brother was like, should we buy a cake, flower, or something to like a napkin to cry, or what we should do? Yeah, man, it's dealing with the customers is the biggest
It's
challenge
always
you
hard.
have,
Yes.
and you find a lot, like a lot of different mentalities, personalities,
Yes.
and even different houses. Right? People will have sometimes very organized house. You cannot mess around, right? But yeah, like from the customers you had, is the when you go in, is it like the technicians taking over from A to Z? Like you train your technicians to how to talk to the customers and to do the customer service, or you handle it from the phone from a distance?
Yes. So we do both. We have a really good training on how my team needs to behave or sell our service, because at the end of the day, they're going to be what the customer is seeing from my company. So we need to have that very controlled. They have certain steps that, as you said, with some customers, it's not the same, right? So some of them are very private. They don't like to. You need to ask permission to most of the staff to open doors, to touch things. So we try to be as respectful as we can in different cultures and religions that are here. So that's we do both. I handle it, of course, over the phone. Try to provide as much as I can over in the distance, but mainly they will see my text, and that's what we try to achieve with the customer.
Okay, actually, those are great things, and I think mostly is you prepare the customer over the phone before you get there, right?
Yes, most so in all of the services that we do for installations itself, I handle from the initial contact till the sale is done, and prepare the installation. But for repair and maintenance, everything is handled over the phone, and my guys show up just to do the actual work that has been established prior to arranging the visit.
Great. So I just want to simplify to the people who's watching the HVAC industry. What is HVAC industry exactly? Like, because some people will like mix up with other things like split ACs.
Yes.
They think this is the only thing they have in the industry. So I want you, from your own words, tell us what is HVAC exactly.
Right. So we do here and there also are other things, but mostly anything related with air. HVAC stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. So anything related with air is mostly of what we do for residential customers. When we jump to commercial and industrial customers, we also take a look to the actual refrigeration systems, such as freezers, walk-in coolers, walk-in freezers that restaurants or production plants can have. But mostly is everything related to air and inside comfort mainly.
Great. That's great. So let's take a half an hour break, just like a real quick, just to recap. And then after that, we're going to keep going and continue with the business itself. Like
Yes.
what is the business from the inside? Is it actually worth it? What is the money wise out of it, and those kind of stuff. And we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Thank you. All right, guys, we're back. The 30 minutes was a little bit exaggerating, but anyway, thanks for coming here again, Jair.
Thank you.
I would like to be the second part more business focused,
Yeah.
and especially the beginnings. Like, what is the first steps? People who wants to open a business nowadays, what is the first steps that you took so they can learn from it?
Okay. The first step that we took, well, again, as a family, I think this will be a little bit different. But
Great.
the main thing that we did was validate the idea, right? As I was saying, what we saw at the beginning in 2021, there was a heat wave, people died, not enough air conditioning at homes, right? That's where we saw our gap in the market. So I would say the main thing to check out in any industry, really, whatever you want to do, would be validating the idea, right? There's the lean method. I don't know if you heard about. Basically, it tells you that in order to produce a product that you want to sell, you need to achieve that stage. There's going to be a lot of failures, right? So you need to fail as cheap as possible and as fast as possible, so you can pivot and try to come to that minimum product that you can sell to your customers without breaking the bank, basically.
So, like, if you want to, like, a little bit say it, what was the thing that, what was the moment you said, yeah, let's do it, let's start? Where did you start? Like, having the name of the company, or start buying the equipment and start doing jobs from here and there before you register, or how that started?
Yes. Fortunately, we had capital investment to start buying stuff, such as stock, such as the lease of the van, and minimum requirements that we needed to get the ball rolling on the business. Of course, in any business is different, but the main thing that you'll need is your be able to have those costs for you to sell a service, right? Whether it's, I don't know, baking pastries or whatever, you need to be able to
have like a stable income,
stable,
to just keep
yes, to have that on the side, so you can produce the final product or service to your customer. I would say that will be the least thing that you'll need. Of course, you can try to come with strategic ideas that will help you reduce costs, but overall, there's still some money involved that you're going to need.
True. And from your experience, so you said like you had saving and investments aside, so you can apply for the first year, even though if you didn't make money, you still can proceed with the company, or you had like a part-time job, you were doing it, and to feed the company with like money and then keep going.
Oh yes, like year one, I wasn't paid at all. Now I am in payroll, but that took a lot of time for us to grow, because of course year one was money out, money out, money out, money out to start building it. So yeah, I worked before. I was a server, doing the beginning of it, right? When there was no phone calls, no nothing. I still needed to have some income in a way. So I worked at a busy place and a Red Rocks Arena serving beer. That's how I got my income while working on the company. Not on the side; it was mainly the company, but I wasn't getting paid for that.
Nice. So, like, are you a person who, like, because like I have friends who also have businesses. There is like two groups of people who wants to open a business. There's a part who's saying, um, I'm gonna start the business and figure it out on the way. And there's a part, no, I need to plan everything before I even start. Which one you go with more, and which more do you think is more effective in the business industries?
The more effective would be acting and going with the ball rolling, because no plan goes according to it. Never, right? There's always something that changes, something always that fails. So it will never be a perfect time for you to do something. And I think the best thing that you could do is just take action. Whatever you can do to achieve that business goal that you have, whether it's opening your own company or doing a side business from what you have, um, whatever it is would be just take action and then figure it out from there.
And when you started, was it, you said this was a part-time thing until it became a full-time,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And you basically had a helping from your father as well, because he's part of the business, and it's a family business, correct?
At that moment, they were not even here, right? So I started the company by myself. The first visits that I did was just by myself. They were not here, so that was the main reason we started subcontracting at the beginning. Because even though my dad is not an actual technician, he's a mechanical engineer. But at least he has the knowledge to do certain stuff and to have that control over the people that do it. And when I was by myself, I couldn't do that because I'm not knowledgeable about the actual technical service. So it was somewhat hard at the beginning, trying to juggle that out with another job, me not getting paid in the company, but still looking after it. And then, of course, outsourcing all the basic services that we needed for the company to do
That's
revenue.
great, man. That's great. I'm really happy for you. You did
Thank
that.
you, man.
And like, obviously, your father is your mentor, basically, into the businesses and keeping you moving forward.
Yes, I mean something that I admire a lot is how like the actual experience that he has will be mainly what I look up to, because he when we resolve problems that we have had, most of the times he somewhat has the answers to it. So it really helps me do a more smooth path during this journey. But of course, again, no plan goes well. Everything changes. Nothing goes according to plan.
You
Never.
gotta act accordingly,
And
basically.
we gotta act based on what we see. Yes.
I agree in that. I agree very hard into this one, because you have, the mental trap you have in mind, but especially when you start the business, you go for a while and you see loses. You just lose. You're just seeing failure, 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 failure until you finish. Going through that alone, it takes time. It takes like a hard, like a strong mentality to go through all that. And you had basically your father who was encouraging you into keep going and not stopping, correct?
Yes. So, I mean, on that sense, it was really mutual at one point, because, yes, we had investment, but there's no unlimited money, right? So, year one was really more of like trying to survive in a sense. We did more than HVAC year one, just to put money into our pockets. We've done handyman services, painting. We connected Wi-Fi wires, and like whatever we could do that was keeping us on with the schedule. At one point, my dad looked into working as a technician for another company, to because we didn't have jobs, right? So we were looking for a way for the company to produce money. We were seeing everything going out, and nothing coming in. So that's where you get alarmed. But I think it was a really good synergy for us, building on each other, so this could come afloat.
Nice. For all businesses, it does like the same.
Yes.
Like, for us as well, the first year, it wasn't the best, but at least I got into a moment where I realized, okay, I'm seeing the vision better now every day. Like,
Mhm.
every day one goes, getting customers, getting master the skills of dealing with customers and marketing. It helps me to go through. But when was the moment your seed there is something else? You basically the first year you said a lot of stress, a lot of failures in a way. But when was the moment you saw the light of the end of the tunnel and you said, yeah, this is gonna work?
I think that that moment came when we started having more trust and be more engaged into the community here in the Lower Mainland. Once we started having at least 2 or 3 jobs during the week, uh, here and there, repetitive customers, that's when we saw, okay, this is something that if we keep pushing how we're doing it so far, because we provide a good customer service, we are knowledgeable about what we do, we don't do guesswork, right? We come and do provide a solution to the problems of my customers. And that was being expanded into the small community and the small customer base that we had. That's when we said, okay, this is something that is going to work. We just need to keep pushing that way, right?
Great, that's great. And if we want to put it together into a way, like how long have you been in the business?
So we opened the company in 2021, so we have 4 years fully operational. I mean, year one exactly when I was with my dad, basically when we were fully into the business, that was 2023. So since 2021 till 2023, we just could get jobs here and there, right? We got jobs maybe one every 2 months. Like it was really, really open for me to just look for other jobs, subcontract someone, and just at least get the name out there. We were not making any money out of that. We priced maybe a little bit over what my subcontractor was charging me because we didn't know the prices in the market, because we didn't know how it worked, because we didn't know how much a subcontractor needs to charge for those jobs. So from 2021 to 2023, I don't consider it as an actual years of working. But since 2023, that's when it all started.
You count basically your business from 2023. That was the kickoff.
Yes. The end of 2023, that year, actual one of fully working. That's when we saw, yes, there's something that we can do in here. There's something that can grow if we keep going this way.
And did you get a return of investment, the money you invested in the beginning? Are you in the stage right now where you got the return on investment or not yet?
So our year end is August. August. So last year we were still on the red because we've had such an investment since 2021. For 2 years, we were not making money, just burning money all out every month. So it's still in 2024, we were in the red, but so far we already passed that and we're making profit right now.
That's great. So you're saying that it, like with you, it took around, let's say, around 3 years just to start to seeing return on investment on the money you invested in the beginning.
Yes. Again, I really don't consider 2021 and 2022 because the company was open, and this is something that maybe it's not related directly to the business, but the business itself was our way of immigrating to Canada. So we still needed the company open to prove that we're coming here with the business and all of that. So we knew already that there was going to be some months where money was being burned out without jobs. We were expecting that. So since 2023, that's when we actually started. So I would say it took 2 years for it to take off.
Mm-hmm. And let's say, like for me personally, when I'm started the business, I'm still growing, so like step by step. At some point, I need to educate myself better, invest in myself.
Yes.
Like in your business, were there like ways to invest in yourself, and you want to tell the people how to keep going? Because you would know information, like the normal information that everyone knows, how to open a business, how to do the normal math for the business. But when it comes to growth, it needs investments,
Yes.
right? In yourself in the first place.
Yes.
So how, like, where did you start doing that?
Right. So I think you're going to agree with me with that, because as business owners, you just don't do the actual cleaning, right? You do the sales, you do the marketing, you have to do the accounting as well, check your numbers. So it's not an easy thing that you learn right away, but you have to still um, getting more knowledge about how to run this business to make sure things are not slipping through the cracks and you're not losing or leaving money on the table. So how I do it, basically my main role again is sales. So I do learn a lot in sales. I've never been taught sales, or I've never had any education regarding sales, but I just learn it along the way. And where on the things that I think I'm good, I try to empower that to make sure that I keep growing on that sense on my role of the business. But apart from that, the actual managing the business, of course, I try to educate myself in stuff that I don't know, or if not, delegate. Like try to remove that.
When you say educating yourself, is it like more like a books, or listening to other people who are successful in sales, or watching podcasts, or like how this works?
Yeah, so I've been trying to read again, but because I used to read before, a lot of I used to read nonfiction, but now it's so hard for me. I like personal development books that I see, but it's so hard for me to read. I would love to start getting into it and having more knowledge reading, but so far how I do it, sometimes I take courses. I learn from other people. I try to connect with successful people that can help me, or I can help out to them, and it's a good synergy in both ways.
It's great. I love the ideas of books. Like I do that myself.
Yeah.
I'm trying to listen to successful salespersons, like podcasts, or anybody has information they need to share, because these people, they already went through and they have tips to always add.
Yes.
Right. And I personally ask you too, like on some things, how you deal with customers, and you give me calls. Like the cooperation with that would always be like first helpful for the business, two for yourself, developing yourself. Because if you have an idea, I don't know about it, if we share it together, we grow together, right? That's been great so far. I added a new section into the podcast, which is agree or disagree.
Okay.
You're going to be the first guest who's
Oh,
going
wow.
to be
Okay.
through that. So I'm going to ask questions. It's going to be so simple. It's just agree or disagree.
Okay,
All right? Ready?
let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. So most people who say they want to start a business will never actually do it. Do you agree or disagree?
Agree.
Agree.
Yes.
Being your own boss harder than having a 9 to 5 job.
Agree.
Okay. Not everyone is built to run a business.
Agree.
Okay. Trades are more secure than university degree today.
I disagree. I think both are really important.
Great. The HVAC industry is slept on. It's way more profitable than people think.
I disagree. It's we're some opinions here and there. Yeah.
Okay. And great. If you are lazy, HVAC will break you.
Oh, 100% agree. Yes. It's not something that you can take slightly.
Great. Working with family is harder than working with strangers.
I disagree. I love working with my family. I think we have a really good synergy.
Working with family, it's do you take it as a weakness or a strength?
I take it as a strength. I mean, I think it's something that I have built in my family. We are the HVAC is not the only business that we've had in Peru. We've had many ventures, right? From cleaning, we have also a cleaning company here. We've had a restaurant. We've had renovations company. So my family has been always on that entrepreneurial side, and I think that mentality among us, we have a really good synergy doing this. Yes,
I personally do agree with that. Most entrepreneurs look rich but are broke behind the scenes.
I would say I would agree. I mean, I think there's a lot of people just selling bullshit on internet.
Chasing the cloud, bro. that's the troubles nowadays.
Yes.
Discipline beats motivation every time.
100% agree.
You can't teach hustle. It's either you or it's not.
I disagree. I think it can be taught. Yeah.
If you are not learning every day, you are failing behind. You're falling behind.
I don't know. I think I disagree just because as you said, discipline is the thing that keeps the most. And if you really have that discipline, whether it lacks on some points, right? Because nobody's perfect. Sometimes I have goals myself that I don't meet. But at the end of the day, if you retake it, you're still going that way, whether you're
But
pushing
isn't
one.
it being disciplined teach you something every day?
Ye-
Like if you're lazy, or sorry, not lazy, like being tired, you're not feeling to work, or
Right.
you push yourself and go to work, you learn something here.
100%. But that discipline, it's never from 0 to 100%, right? There's always going to be ups and downs, and at that moment, I think it's okay for you, for sometimes to be lazy or not having to do stuff that you actually need to. And sometimes it happens. I think that's okay.
If there was drinks, I will take cheers for that.
100%. Yeah.
That's been great there. And again, thank you very much for being on the second episode. We are also always bringing people to learn from. I personally learn from every person comes. We bring the second, and you added a lot to me, and I hope I added to you as well.
Yes.
And for the people who's watching, just to ending message, what would you say for people who wants to start a business, especially in early 20s?
Oof, I would say, I mean, I'm really not the most prepared person to say something, but I think where we really pinch down is take action, right? I think you, as you did, took action and figure out along the way, as we did, took action and I figure out we're still figuring it out. So the main thing is try to work towards that goal as minimal as it is, but working towards there.
That's awesome, man. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ali. Thank you
And
for having me.
hopefully, people will enjoy the episode and learn something today. Thank you very much, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.